Without Lanier, I don't know if I could be as super as I am.
Basically, for the last years, me and Lanier have been running around the city together, getting into trouble. He thinks I'm his Barbie doll.
Oh, Lanier. Like the bane of my existence, quite frankly. Ugh. Does anybody have any gin, please?
I always got that I was weird growing up. I was born in Akron, Ohio. My mom was a seamstress, and so she showed me how to sew at a young age. So all through high school, I pretty much made my own clothes. I never worked in a department store or anything like that for makeup. I learned doing makeup for photographers. My biggest break came after I moved to New York, and they called me for the Cosby Show. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was in Lisa Bonet's face. The most exciting makeup experience I've had was traveling Australia with Oprah's Great Australian Adventure. Private planes, boats. There was this one hotel that we stayed in Tasmania. Let me tell you, when I looked out there that night, I saw dancing spirits, kangaroos, everything was like jumping around and was moving out in the wilderness. It was crazy. So I couldn't even describe it. I wouldn't go out there, I tell you that. Truman Capote, to me, I used to read about him a lot when I was coming up. And I was just like, oh my God, how fascinating. He lived in Manhattan, and he lunches with rich women, and he just sit around, drink champagne, and talk about frivolous stuff. I'm going like, oh my God, that's me now. Only thing is, I don't tell. Like Truman Capote used to write his about his clients and change their names, but I would never do that. I'd like to introduce my crew. Andre Austin, you know, the clothing stylist. You met him when we were at the Gayle King show. We work together all the time. The only problem with Andre is when he gets in front of the camera, he plays it straight. Not straight like that, but he's not as funny. He wants to be more professional. He wants to come across like, I am a professional stylist, and if you wear things like that, you know, instead of being his girl bye, and you know, you know, his real funny self. I think if we break through with Andre, he would really be funny. One of my dark-skinned girls that wouldn't mind appearing on the show, I'm sure, would be Nicole Galicia. I've been mentoring her for a while. She was in Django. She just starred in Jamie Foxx's new movie. She's a fag hag. We can't really use that word anymore, but I guess you can use it for that. But they have like mostly gay friends. They feel like, how can you be fabulous if you don't have gay friends? Deborah, she's her own personality. She's crazy and she's nutty, and she is a fag hag for sure.
I've tried to get rid of him, but he always comes back like a bad penny.
Well, I met Deborah Gregory on a movie set around 1992. She's a writer. She wrote The Cheetah Girls.
I was doing an article on Forrest Whitaker for Essence, and I went on the movie set. It was called Strapped.
And so I saw her on set.
And there was Lanier, and he was chasing me around. I had no idea that he was gay. You would have never known the way he was chasing me. And he glommed on to me.
We became fast friends and been friends ever since.
So that's 20 years when you think about it. 20 years of glomming.
She has exuberant personality. She's wild and crazy. She says a bunch of really crazy things.
Can you imagine going out with someone and they order wheatgrass? That's not cute. How many parties do you think you get invited with that? He goes on about the wheatgrass and the lymph nodes. That's not a dish, but something like that, okay? Tofu mix. Nobody's trying to hear this, okay? We're trying to order some ribs and peace, but you should see when you go out with Lanier. It's all about the lymph node dish or whatever that is that he's eating, because I have not a clue, because I am not eating it, okay? That's what going out with Lanier is like. The only thing that we have in common, truthfully, is house music. That's our religion. I'm liking this.
We argue like cats and dogs too.
What's her name?
I can't remember her name.
Honey, look it up.
Daniela Federici.
Let me see her name, because you sound like you're
Daniela Federici.
Let me see. Let me see.
Italian.
And it's one of those shoots that will never go old.
Okay, her name is Daniela Federici.
Just like I say it. The problem is that I'm always right, and she has a problem with that because she always wants to throw that I'm college educated. She'll do that on a moment's notice.
I don't think he has a GED, and truthfully, because I'm a graduate of FIT, I mean, I'm actually more of a graduate beyond that, but FIT I'm very proud of.
She doesn't shut up. She's not going to shut up. Felicia, she's another dark-skinned beauty. She has 2 salons. She applies eyelashes, permanent eyelashes.
Okay, my name is Felicia. My aunt, who's a plastic surgeon, is all into Botox, into Juvederm, microdermabrasion, chemical peels, anything to keep yourself looking young. She's all about it. She introduced me to him one day when he was doing her makeup. After that, we just became close friends. Like, he loved me instantly. Like, I love Lanier and he loved me. He's always joking around because he thinks he knows more than me. But see, he met his match when he met me, because I feel like Lanier is like, oh, honey, this is in. But he always trying to tell me red bottoms, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, well, look at these Giuseppe. You know, look at this other stuff that's out. Like, I feel like sometimes Lanier's got it going on, but he's stuck in the time warps. I'm all about the new fashion era. I know what's up, but I can't knock Lanier because he's like old fashioned, but it's still good.
Jay is a friend of mine I've known almost as long as Nicole.
I met Lanier on my first photo shoot. Lanier was doing my makeup. After the shoot was over, he just kind of like, we kept in touch.
He wanted to be a model, so I helped him get pictures together.
I did 1 photo shoot when I first moved here to New York, and I don't think they was expecting for me to do any more shoots after that.
And he now has a calendar that he puts out every year himself, and it does well.
Lanier kind of helped me make the right decisions in the calendar. I call him for everything. When I do my calendars, I do the covers. Who imitates me on photo shoots? Guys. And if you wanted me to show you what they do, I would have to take off my clothes. It's cold in New York City, so I have on like a few extra clothes, but it's the poppy underwear. And one of my signature shoots poses is this. You see the crab, the cancer?
Pull up your pants. You always got your clothes off. This is about me. Pull up your pants.
But you know what?
Why don't you?
I look better in clothes, and I also look better wet. Do you got a swimming pool in here?
So it's nice to see the growth, in him. And then my friend Robin, we didn't even talk about. She's a clothing stylist, and she plays with dolls, but it's the funniest thing ever. It's like an X-rated funny. She has all these different dolls, and you come in, and she's like, oh, hey, baby. You want to get it on tonight? Bam, bam, bam. You thought that was good. Oh, my God, you'd be dying laughing on the floor. No, I hang out with anybody that's fun. My whole thing is very upbeat.